What is up, YouTube? I am back with another update video on the Cadillac, my 2013 Cadillac Escalade Premium. Last update, something like 9 months ago or so. I know I'm terrible at keeping up with this kind of stuff, but so I've changed a few things since then. I think at that point in time I had just debadged all my badges and everything and put the billets on for the first time. Shortly after that, I switched out, put my 22s on for a while through the winter time and everything, and I've made a few changes since then. Just slow process, but progress is progress. So any progress is good progress. I have some things in the works right now. It is not lowered yet, but parts have been secured. Haven't picked them up yet. Ended up purchasing a kit from a good friend of mine. He purchased a full Beltec, like best of the best, kit for a Denali, and then shortly after, about 1,000 miles later, decided he's going to do a different project instead. Gave me first crack at getting his stuff, so I've had it since like last year, end of the year, December or so, I think. But he's still in possession. I just had to pick everything up. Everything's been purchased, so it's going to be adjustable. I'm going to shoot for somewhere between like 3.5, 4.6. It will be the Beltec double adjustable coilovers and spindles, and the rear is going to be coils with helper bags, and then the whole 9 yards. I still have an adjustable pan hard bar, and then I'm probably going to look into doing the adjustable rear control arms, kind of center that wheel and the axle, or that axle and the fender well, because that really bothered me on my white one. Something I never did on that one, and it just looks a whole lot better when it's done right. And I'm trying to do best of the best on this one. This is essentially the kit that I always wanted on the white one, but never broke down and got all the good parts for. That one was kind of trial and error. I learned about it, learned from my mistakes. It was all right at first, but it was, the parts I got didn't last the best. And then anytime I would load it down with my family and everything, we'd have issues with just the suspension. It just rode rough, and it just wasn't great. So this one's going to be, best of the best, top of the line. Try to do it right the first time around, and hopefully have a lot better luck with that one on this Escalade. So let's get up, flip it around here, and get to some of the updates and see what all is different. There she is. It's a little dirty right now. I cleaned it up a couple days ago. Then we've had rain coming and everything else. But main difference you're gonna notice, big brakes. She got some big brakes. I looked up on this GM Performance 6-piston Brembo kit. 16-inch rotors, 6-piston calipers, powder coated red. This kit actually is one offered through GM. You can order it through dealership or get it online. I looked up on it on used. That was on a 2019 Suburban. Man, I gotta say, this kit is just crazy. The stopping difference is well worth it. It is expensive. Obviously I got a crazy steal on mine, otherwise I probably wouldn't have it. It's about $2,800, $3,000 through GM. But if you have one of these and have not upgraded the brakes or have not gone to a bigger brake, it definitely helps a ton. I think they claim something like 80% better stopping, and I agree. I think it's every bit of that. This thing stops on a dime now. It is used kit. I'm gonna have to do pads pretty soon. These do make a lot of brake dust. The 6-piston and then the pads that were on it, they make a lot of brake dust, and I am not a fan of brake dust. So I am gonna change to a different pad material. I know on my white Escalade I did carbon fiber ceramic brakes on that one, and they were quiet and they didn't make a lot of dust, and they lasted a long time. So I'm going to shoot for something like that on here, but I will have to order them because nobody in town stocks them. But in doing the big brakes, these wheels were not ever designed to run aftermarket big brakes. As you can see, my limited clearance there, I had to run a spacer, which did kick the wheel out just a little bit. We'll only know here shortly whether that's going to affect anything or not as far as the drop goes. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping with the touch of camber I can still get it to clear. But worst case scenario, 22s go back on, and then maybe down the road sometime I'll get these rehooped. They were, they're older wheels. They were built in like 17. They weren't designed to work with big brakes. The back spacing is just not right for that. But I can always get them rehooped and fixed because they are 3-piece wheels. And they're one-off, so I don't really want to get rid of them. It's the only set ever made in 6-lug, which makes them, pretty cool and rare to me. So I don't know. We'll figure out what happens when it's time to drop. The other main thing you'll notice, the vinyl on the headlight may not be for everybody. I don't like the amber corners. I thought about changing the headlights. I don't really like these headlights a ton. The LED DRL strips in them, it's just not my cup of tea. I've never been the biggest fan of them, but that light output is really, really good. So I haven't bothered looking at changing them yet. When the time comes, I do want to do like an all clear headlight. But I found this vinyl on Amazon, and the color it's more gray. Some lights it looks perfect, it blends right in with the paint, and then some lights, when the Escalade's looking a little more brown, you can tell the difference. As from this angle, there's an obvious difference there. But I don't know, I dig it. It's better than I didn't want to black it out. I'm not a fan of that, and it's better than the orange, I think. So it just kind of ties everything in there. Rear brakes are still stock. I did replace the pads right after I got it, so it's got the carbon fiber ceramics on the rear, and they're in excellent shape. But here at some point I'm gonna locate some rear factory Brembos to match the front. CTSVBrakeswap.com offers brackets that'll work with some factory Brembos off of Camaro, ATSV, and some like Z51 Corvette Brembos. And so as soon as I can locate a good set of those, I'm going to upgrade the rear to match. Depending on time frame wise, I may just go ahead and paint the factory rears the same red so that it kind of ties it all together for now. And then, maybe when I upgrade, I'll keep the red for now maybe. But it's not ideal for me. I would kind of like to have like the CTSV yellow. I think that would really accent the brown well. But for now, the red kind of ties into the taillights, so I can live with it. I dig it. That's the main differences, the main things I've changed so far. I did remove the pinstripe, which I had talked about in the last video. I was getting ready to do at that point. And then I did add a muffler. So I bought a MagnaFlow, and before I ever put it on, I ended up trading it for a Borla XR1, which I thought would be a little more aggressive tone. I really loved the carving I had on the white Escalade, and I kind of wanted to go back with something like that, and I figured the XR1 would be similar. But on this one, being the dual exhaust, I did keep the resonator because I'm not a fan of the backfires and back popping and everything. But with the resonator, it's not quite as loud as I had hoped. But it is nice for a daily. Get a little crank real quick. It's got a nice kind of, aggressive tone. It sounds good when you step on it. But, it is not quite as loud as I had hoped. But it's good for now. It is my daily. I do take my family everywhere in this one. But I'm just ready to keep chipping away and doing the things. I think when I get ready to do some performance stuff and the cam and everything, it'll get headers and probably full exhaust at that point, and I can change it up and go a little bit louder with it. But this is it, man. This is where I'm at. I am so ready to get it dropped. I'm pretty stoked on it. Just having everything ready and available. It's just lining everything up and getting it to work with our schedules and everything. I can meet up with him and get the parts, and then one weekend I'll probably, you know, throw them on at work, work at the dealership, so I have access to lifts and everything. So makes it life a lot easier. But the plan is to be somewhere, you know, 3.5, 4.6 range. You know, but helper bags in the rear, just trying to make this thing top notch from the jump. She's getting some miles on her, so I have a feeling, you know, I'll be saving for a cam and stuff before long. It does have DOD, and I really want to get that out of there before it has a chance to fail. So I'll probably do like a decent little cam, nothing crazy. I'm not trying to go fast with it, you know, just a nice little chop would be nice, and a, you know, good tune. I've just, you know, been driving it and enjoying it really. It's got its little quirks here and there, but you know, it's in pretty good shape for the age and everything, and I'm just trying to maintain that and take care of it. And you know, I like to share what I do with it. It seems like people like it, so this color with the billets just really pops and it looks great. But yeah, I'll definitely update progress and, you know, keep posting things that are done as they happen. I would kind of like to, I'll probably make a video on the brakes when I do the pads, and then I'm thinking about maybe making a video when I drop it, just document that process. I think that'd be kind of nice to have, and then just any other changes I come up with, anything else I decide to do to it, I'll, you know, maybe make some progress videos and stuff on that. But you know, just one step at a time. Just trying to get, you know, get time to get the parts picked up and start, you know, working on my schedule to try to get it where I can, you know, get the parts installed and, you know, get it aligned and, you know, do all the things. One thing I've been, you know, looking at is just trying to make sure everything is the best parts from the beginning and not have this issue I had with the last one where I'm unhappy with the setup and I want to change it and everything. You know, I love that stance that one had, but it was never really right for a daily driver on the roads that we have around here. Our roads are terrible, potholes, dips, and this and that, and there's always construction, and having a lowered vehicle with a family in it, you know, they're not too fond of it when it's all riding rough and everything. So I'm trying to do this top of the line, best I can do up front, and then just, you know, just enjoy it. Like I said, you know, I'm not trying to be the best out there. I just want to share my experience, what I have with it, and the things I do to it, because it seems like people enjoy it and I love it. So, you know, if y'all have any opinions, questions, comments, just let me know. I'm always down to chat it up with some people. You know, it's cool when you get these other Escalade owners and Tahoe, Yukon owners that share the same kind of love for these vehicles, and you know, we can chop it up and, you know, talk about them and help each other out and everything. You know, I'm all about the community for these things, so I appreciate a like, share, follow, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully I can start, you know, posting more content with this thing, and you know, maybe I'll do a detailed video pretty soon and clean it up real nice and do a full inside and out walk around on it or something. But yeah, if y'all have any questions or anything, just hit me up. I'm gonna get this video posted up and see what everybody thinks about it, and hopefully some, you know, updated content here soon. Appreciate y'all checking it out. Peace.